warm welcome also from my side to our digital Capital Markets Day. I'm very happy to talk to you about our digital transformation a little bit more in detail. And what we saw throughout the pandemic, that all our customers in all age groups dramatically increased their digital capabilities. Luckily, we at Allianz started already our digital transformation quite some time ago, and we didn't even stop throughout the pandemic, because we want to meet our customers anywhere, anytime, with a simple, intuitive offering. And that I will explain you more the entire concept on the next page. So Oliver already talked about it. We want to create one Allianz global customer model. That means we start with the products to be global, to be harmonized, then also go into the processes that actually come together with the product. And if we have the global product and the global processes harmonized, we can also massively simplify the underlying technology. We call that in all itself the business master platform that contains not only the processes and the product, but also the IT. We will also show you that it is scalable throughout the group and also has baked in the sustainability components. Why are we already enabled to do so? Because if you go to the next page, you can see that we have one big advantage, because we have one of the biggest captives within the financial service industry. We have a technology captive that consists, as of today, out of 12,000 IT experts. These 12,000 IT experts around the globe are not only responsible to build the new, but also taking care to run the old. And at the same time, we do the transformation. And of course, you can imagine, as a constant target, we need to, of course, have our systems available, secure and resilient 24/7. We combine that also with another capability that is very important, that is the business process analytics, also that we have already also in a global team. And it helps us also when we have a crisis, because then we can make sure that we can use the entire community around the globe. That makes us much more resilient. All over, this team is actually working with an IT budget of 4.2 billion, which is roughly 40% change, 60% run. You need to imagine that at the moment, of course, we have a double run because we are in the process of transforming. Also important to mention that we do the entire transformation out of this budget. So we did not increase. This is the budget we have at hand to do the new, get rid of the old. Another very important enabler is that we understood quite early that if you are a data-driven company, if you are technology at your heart, you have to have an absolute stable infrastructure. So we invested very, very early in simplifying our infrastructure. This is what you already see in the infrastructure total costs going down. And also, as a side effect, we could substantially reduce the amount of incidents. Also, on the data center, we went down from 144 data centers into 6 strategic data centers around the globe, and we have already moved 66% of our infrastructure into the cloud. What was very, very useful throughout the pandemic was that we already started early to virtualize our workplaces. So we had already in 2018, 80,000 employees on a virtual workplace, and we brought it up to 121 in the year 2021. That, of course, made it possible that we had, throughout the pandemic, 90% of the workforce working from home. And that was also the reason why we did not stop our transformation even through the pandemic. So these are the capabilities that you need. But what is most decisive in our transformation journey is, of course, the product and the process. So what we need to do is to make sure we have a global, a harmonized product. And that was done because we understood that, especially in P&C, 90% of the product functionalities are very similar across markets. So what we did, we actually designed a product laboratory where everybody can fairly easy do a rapid product design. And then this is based on a common framework. So before I explain to you, I think it makes much more sense we look into this little movie, can explain it much better.
Meet Barbara. She's a product developer at an Allianz OE. Barbara and her team love to dream up big ideas and develop new products to support customers and the business in her local market. Yet sometimes she feels it takes too long for the product to reach the customer and is facing significant IT budget constraints and wonders if she could use what's already working from other countries. And measuring whether the product will meet the desired KPIs takes a lot of time. That's where the Allianz Product Lab, or APL, comes in. It's a new tool to help Barbara and her team simplify, measure, and speed up the way they're designing and developing new products, leading to a harmonization of our life and health product portfolio. Now, when Barbara is asked to come up with a new product design, she can begin by simply logging in to the Allianz Product Lab. Find and select her regional template. Together with her team, they adjust the parameters of the template to fit the local product needs and requirements. Once the team feels comfortable with the product parameters in APL, with a click, they can calculate the KPIs for customer value and profitability. The first calculation shows profitability is too low, so they increase the fees and calculate the KPIs again. This time, profitability is great, but customer value is too low. With another adjustment, they recalculate the KPIs until they're at the desired levels. After testing different parameters, the team is finally happy with the new product draft. The next day, Barbara and her team present the new product draft to her leadership. They'd like to see the customer value increase. On the spot, Barbara can make these adjustments in APL and immediately show the updated product to leadership. The product is ready for initial consumer testing, actuarial testing, and other local product development processes. With Allianz Product Lab, we can help Barbara simplify, harmonize, speed up product development, and minimize IT implementation costs by using available functionalities.
This was a common effort of many OEs, and already by today, many OEs are using that. And now I would like to give you the practical example, because always sounds nice in theory. We want to see whether it really works. So what is the benefit here? What you see is, for once, we have identical product offers in various markets. So this is already proving that we can sell the same product in various markets. Customer feedback very high. Another thing that we did is also simplifying the underwriting process, so making it much easier for our customers to connect with us. So if you look into Privatschutz, for instance, we went from 40 to maximal 8 clicks to quote. But that is not everything. I think what is also extremely important, that we clean the product portfolio. What do you see what was done in Turkey and also in Italy? Really massively decreasing the product combinations and also the old product families and bringing them into one. So that is happening, and this is really important because it's the product that actually makes the difference whether you can fully simplify according along the entire value chain with also into the technology, and that I will show you. But before we talk about the technology, we need to first look into processes, also mentioned by Oliver, because this is where the beauty is, and this is also where we will achieve what Giulio told you, the continuous improvement of the expense ratio. So how do we do that? We looked into the overall processes, and we did nothing really new, because this is what you're doing with business process re-engineering, and everybody who ever worked in operations and IT knows that. The thing is, what we are using is new tools in the market that allow us to do that much faster, because in the past, we did that manually. Now we can do that with the solutions that give you, within a very short period of time, an analysis of your processes and the inefficiencies, ineffectiveness in your processes. Then you need to decide how you would like your to-be process to be. You bake that into the system. And then I think this is also very important. You combine that also what is out there in the market with automation, with artificial intelligence, and also with robotics. And then we also combine that with the strategic assets that we bought from the market. Oliver gave you the example of claims, which I just briefly now will reiterate and not to bore you, but exactly that is it. So we need to make sure that also from an architecture point of view, we need to have the architecture in a way that we can easily also connect to all the partners that is out there in the market to help us to increase the offering to our customers. So if we quickly go to the next page and we look into claims, Oliver explained to you, and just to make sure it's on the mobile of the customer. So we want to make sure that from the very first moment, we have the first notification of loss, we use what is out there in terms of tools to do the upload with the photo on the smartphone, to do the immediate artificial intelligence-based loss assessment, to work together with GT Automotive on the cost estimates. And more important, also for our customers, we do have the claims tracker where the customer can see 24/7 real-time the status update on his claim. So this is on the product and on the process, continuous simplification. If you do that, of course, that needs to be reflected in the underlying technology. So let's look into the new. What do we want to do new? So on the new, of course, we want to massively reduce the platforms. If you go to the next page, and you see, we want to come from multiple OE platforms that we have around the globe into one look and feel globally. On the customer front ends, already we massively decreased the amount of customer front ends we have out there. And the advantage is not only cost and productivity, but the advantage is also that you can scale much faster innovation because you have the same underlying platform. In the global master platform, you need to imagine we have 80% core layer, which has the functionalities to serve all the business. Now let's talk P&C, but also the target for all the others. And then you have per country, because of local regulations, roughly a 10% local customization, and on the country layer, which is then the same in the country for all the operating entities of Allianz, an additional 10. Why would that work? Because we understood when we analyzed in depth the products that the products have like 85-90% commonality. So this is absolutely achievable. And of course, you can imagine if you manage all of that one, the productivity enhancements are given. So the more tricky thing, and also that one was mentioned by Oliver, of course, how to get rid of the old. So what did we do? We also here, we started quite early and we now gained some expertise and experience to do that, because you can imagine we are not a new company. So we have some systems that are around since some 30 years or so. So therefore, it's very important that you understand what you're doing. So up to now, we decommissioned already 600 applications, and we have 600 more to come until 2025, and then we will do the rest. This already gives us a 250 million run rate saving until 2027. Now, again, Barbara, nice what you're telling us, but do you have an example where it all comes through? Is that really scalable? So we took an OE very far from Europe, and we go to the next page and we go to Australia. In Australia, we said, okay, let's see whether this is working. Whether it's working that we simplify the product through the customer eyes, with an underlying processes harmonized and the IT platform. So we asked 1,500 clients. We generated the product with the product lab, as you saw, with one tariff generation, very important not to again build another legacy. And on the new website, the result, quite impressive. For the first months, we see the call center conversion rate up by 50, the new business gross written premium up by 40, the new business contracts up by 30, and the online conversion rate up by 20. So looks promising, and I would say now we start harvesting what we started already a couple of years ago. Digitalization is not everything. What we absolutely also need to have a key focus on is, and there we come to the next slide, sustainability. Also mentioned already by Oliver, is a very crucial topic for us. And especially being a data-driven company, we need to absolutely carefully understand how we use energy. So we do have a target of greenhouse gas emission reduction of 30% by 2025. So by using and increasing continuously our digital collaboration, and this is what you see with me here and with also from PIMCO joining from the US, we have a hybrid setting today. This is absolutely needed, because by this we can massively reduce business travel. In addition, of course, we use every lever that you can use in the area of technology, for instance, talking about the flexible capacity usage via the cloud. In the area of electricity, another thing that we do, we want to have 100% renewable electricity by the 2023. And already as of today, we have 4 out of 6 of our data centers run by renewable energy. And for the others, we are actually working together with the colleagues around the globe to increase the supply side to be able to also make a step forward here. Another very interesting thing, focusing not only on sustainability, but also on productivity, is of course paper use. Paperless communication is for us absolutely must do to make life easier for our customers, to get productivity up, but also in terms of sustainability. And the last but not least to mention here in the area of claims. We started already now to understand whether our customers would accept that we go into repair instead of replace. And I can tell you this is very much accepted. So we want to have by 2024 already 62% of the claims steered really repair of car parts instead of replacement. So I think with that, I could give you an overview also how we massively work on sustainability. And before giving the stage to my dear colleague, Chris Townsend, I would like to quickly summarize how we want to come to the P&C expense ratio that with the decrease of 30 basis points per year. And I think the answer is simple. The answer is simple, digital, and scalable. And with that, I thank you very much, and I would give the stage to Chris.